So I'm going to use this, I guess it's Americana. These were gifted to me a long time ago and I haven't used them. So we'll see how this goes. It's kind of a pumpkin-y orange. I'm not sure. I'm going to try a little bit more of the yellow just to see. It might be my lighting in here too right now. Oh right, and I forgot that this is white, so that's gonna make a difference too. Well, that's gonna have to be good enough because I don't want to waste. Well, maybe I can. Oops, that was more than I intended to put. It's making more of a pink. It's a weird color. It's more of a peachy color. Well, what am I going to do about that? It's probably the color of red that I'm using that's... Yeah, okay. Let's go for the more expensive paint to try and get a better color. I'm mixing way too much of this, but it's because as you know, I'm trying to get a good orangey color here. Well, hopefully it's just because of the lighting. Because now it's more pink. So, okay. I'm gonna go with this one. Hopefully I'll have better luck with purple. My paint seems to have dried. This tube, as you can see, is in hard shape, so getting paint out of it is not the easiest thing to do. Okay, I don't need a lot. I don't know if it's gonna work with me. Water. And some of that red again. Clean palette knife. Yeah, that's not even gonna wanna mix because it's so dry. But it is giving me a purple. With some of that molding paste. I'll try some of this Americana blue in there. That's probably not a good idea because it's not the right kind of blue. But well, maybe it worked. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to go with it because otherwise I'm just gonna be wasting paint. So it looks like I need to carve myself a stamp. So I just went on the internet and found a picture of a skull and crossbones, and I'm going to get a piece of scrap paper, trace my size here, and draw myself a quick I'm not gonna do like a really super great job on this because skulls are not really something I'm into. I'm gonna try to make him a little bit cutesy. Okay, and then the bones. I don't know if I'm happy with that. Yeah, I guess it'll be okay. It'll be good enough. by all means is not perfect. Okay, this is good enough. So you cover your image. I mean, if I were confident, I could draw right directly on the rubber. I can see good enough to do my cutting. I'll keep this handy, and I mean I could probably use this in an art journal or something. I'll keep this handy so I can use it as a guide if I run into trouble seeing what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm going to start with this smaller scoop blade. I'll start with this one because I've got details there that I don't want to lose. You put your things in there, and this goes through that way. Yeah, there we go. Now we've got it. And then you screw that back on. There. Sheesh. Like I said, it's simple once you figure it out, but it's to figure it out, and I have to figure it out every time. So, okay. Now, I will just, basically I will go around the image. Thinking of you, Lori. I'm finally carving a stamp so that you can see how I do it. I intended to do a whole separate video for you, but okay, so here my image isn't very clear, so I'm using this as my reference to help me see where I want to go. I want that to be a little bit more pointy there. Okay, now the teeth area. Okay, I'm pretty sure I messed this up, but okay, and inside the eyes. So if you wanted it to be an actual circle, you could do it. You just kind of do this. But I would rather it not be a circle. A perfect one anyway. Adjust that a little bit too. Okay, and I mean, my stamps are nowhere near being perfect. Like they're just... they're just very homemade looking. So... okay, we'll see how that works out for that. And now I'm going to go around the bones. Which are also kind of faint and need my reference there to help me out. Okay, you want to avoid doing what I just did, which is slip off your image, because you could ruin it, but I was lucky. This is a lino cut kit. It's by Speedball, but the package when I bought the rubber, it was called lino cut or lino something anyway. Okay, so I kind of messed up this bone, but that's okay. Now, what I usually do at this point is to cut away. Where is it? There it is. I usually use my cheap knife and cut away the bits that I don't need, and then put them in my box to use for, you know, for tiny little one. Well, okay, I probably can't do much with that, but I'm gonna save it anyway. And this also helps. Doing this, cutting around it like this, also helps with the next stage, so that there isn't as much to carve away from. That'll do. That'll do. Okay, it gets messy. I usually work on a piece of scrap paper. I'm gonna start to cut away the bits I don't need. So just kind of the background. And you can use a bigger one, a bigger tool for this part, but I still like to use the smaller one, because especially when I'm working on a stamp of this nature, because I like to keep away. The bigger one makes it harder to get around without harming the image. But if I had a lot, like if I had big spaces that needed to be carved away, then I would use the bigger one. And sometimes towards the end, when I've carved away the good bits here, like in a bit like that, I might pull out the other one, but I'm also lazy about switching the tool, so that's the other reason that I tend to do most of it with just the one. Especially on one like this, because like I said, it's shape that a bit better. Oops, wrong way. I should have left it the way it was. So it's pretty easy, but at the same time it can be a little bit tricky to get around without messing up your image. And almost all of my stamps that I carve myself have mistakes in them, but it just kind of adds to their charm, I think. The first person that I saw carve a stamp was Dee Dee, and it was before I had gotten the kit, but I had never made. I had gotten this tool and some of these rubber blocks. They look like that. When you buy them, there are different sizes. This is the size that I tend to get. When I had gotten it, but I had never carved yet. And then Dee Dee streamed and showed how she carves her stamps, and then I was braver about actually doing my first stamp. So hopefully that's what happens for you, Lori, seeing me do this. And I mean, the more time you spend on it, the better your results will be, of course. See, this area here would work better with the bigger tool. But okay, this little inny bit here. And I'm going to fix that bit just a little bit right there. So you just kind of do as you go along, and you just kind of see what you want to fix, and then you can do it. Okay. It's a lot of fun. It can be kind of, what's that word? It's not really therapeutic, but it's, relaxing. I can't think of the word. Anyway, okay. That's a very strange looking skull, but I'm gonna leave it like that, I think. So now at this point, I usually do a test stamp to see if there's something I want to fix on it. If there's bits that I missed clearing away. Okay, and when I do that, I see that there are chunks that shouldn't be taken away that are, but oh well. And see, like right here, next to the skull bit, I see a tiny little piece there that I'd like to get out. So I will. And I will want to fix that too, but I'm going to stamp it. Okay, that's not too bad, but I do want to fix this bone bit here. So I'm just going to say there's a hole in that bone. So there you go. Okay, so and then like once I've done my fixes, then I stamp it again. Yeah, okay, I'm happy with that, or happy enough. There you go. So usually I date it. On the back I do the date and sign it. And eventually I'm sure that this will rub off and you won't be able to see the date anymore and everything, but I still like to do it just because. Ooh, that's neat. Okay, I'm going to be able to use some of these for an art journal entry or something. They're kind of ghostly skull. Oh yeah, the other thing that I keep forgetting when I'm carving a stamp is that the image will be reversed. Like it'll be flipped. But in this case it didn't really matter too much. But yeah, if you're writing words or something like that, make sure that you put it so that when you turn it over that it'll stamp the right way. Okay, I do not have Stamp Boutique stamps. I don't even have one of them. So what I'm going to do is use, I think I'm going to choose this pumpkin, that one, for the head, and then I'm just going to draw, and I cut a piece of cardstock so that I could see the size that I need. So I'm going to stamp that. Jet black stays on. And I'm not going to bother getting a clear block like I should. Okay. So that pumpkin, in my opinion, is adorable. Color that in probably with markers. These are Sharpies. I don't have Copics or anything like that. Just a hint of yellow there for his eyes. I'm gonna use my orange Prismacolor to just do a highlight here and there. And speaking of highlights, I think I will also highlight a little bit with this cream colored pencil. And fix that black nose. There we go. And maybe there. Okay. There's his head. Now I think that'll work out to be cute enough. Color it in. Sharpies again, I think. Straw hands. And I think maybe blue pants. Dark blue. And what kind of shirt? The stamp that Serena used, the outfit was all the same and it was black. So I'm just going to use this dark blue for the whole outfit. Okay, and I'm going to trace it to make it look like it was a stamp with my just a normal big pen. Maybe I'll add a little bit of detail, some patches, and I'm gonna use some. Turning out kind of cute. And I'm gonna retrace around his eyes a little bit because when I colored it, it kind of. I think I want a little bit more of a, just a faint line for the pumpkin. There we go. Okay, I think I'm going to use some pencils to color those patches. Trying to use colors that'll show up at least a little bit. Maybe that one can be yellow also. There we go. Okay, and then I'm gonna fussy cut him. You probably don't need to see me fussy cut, but okay, so around here with his hands and feet, I'm going to do that with it. So I'm gonna make this orange. So what I did is I put a piece of paper on top of one side of the double-sided tape. And then I'm going to draw little pumpkins. Hopefully I'll do a better job than that. Maybe I better do them in pencil first. Okay, and okay, so not the best pumpkins in the world, but it'll do, I guess. Hopefully this will work long enough. This marker gives me trouble. Right, I guess I wasn't supposed to color the stem black like I did on them, but maybe I can fix that with the colored pencil. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm not liking that head. I'm gonna try again. I always press too hard when I'm drawing stuff, and so when I need to erase, it's not a good situation. But there you go. There we go. That'll do. I will give her a pale complexion. Some of these out, and I didn't measure, I just went by, I didn't measure, and so obviously they're not the best envelopes in the world, but I think for this they're good enough. Okay. And my solution for the text on the ATCs is not working out because my printer is not cooperating with me, so I'm thinking about it some more. Okay, so I'm putting this piece of cereal box inside so that I don't get marker on this part of the envelope where I don't want it because of the bleed through. And basically I'm just starting with an orange line and then I've done the strips in a different design so far, and I'm not sure what this one will be. This one's my favorite one. I think this time I will do this, which is similar but different. And this again is because I don't have Halloween appropriate washi tape. I'm just gonna write in the award goes to like Serena did on her envelopes, and I think I'll just use a black pen. Okay, so that's my envelope. Right, and this one is not an award goes to type of thing, so I'll say have a safe and happy Halloween. Then I just trimmed the flap to match the front. Okay, to act as a little kind of a seal for the envelopes, I'm going to use the sticker that says wow, because I don't have anything Halloween in a sticker, which is weird. I mean, I have Halloween stickers, but none that are not, you know, stuck somewhere in my collection or whatever. So this is what I'm going to use. See, just like that, just to hold the envelope closed a little bit. So yeah.